It's Scotty. It's kind of Shelby. He's distracted. It's Zach. We are all back together again after having not the full gang every week, as you all have come to know and love. But we're all here now, and it's some exciting stuff. We're going to talk. We're going to talk preseason. Hard Knocks is back. We'll start 'em, sit 'em, little stand bunk. Even though Scotty and I have made our feelings clear about those segments, we will discuss a future segment on a possible fantasy draft for the pod, the members of the pod. Talk a little bit about training camp. Maybe throw in some preseason best bets. Got some preseason game this weekend. Maybe if there's something that sticks out to one of us, throw it out there.
Zach's doing the mambo while doing this, and it's very entertaining.
The mamba?
Little shimmy shimmy. Yeah, little shimmy shimmy. All right, Scotty, how are you?
I'm solid.
That solid wasn't very solid.
I didn't have the Nerfy in the Field of Dreams game, so I'm doing better than other people.
That's good.
The Nerfy? Is that what it's called?
The Nerfy, yeah. What do you mean?
I fucking love that.
Have you never heard the Nerfy before?
No, I just abbreviated it without saying it like a douche.
Everyone calls it the Nerfy.
Are you sure it's not just that TikTok douchebag?
100% Nerfy, 100%.
Do they actually say it out loud or just abbreviate it?
This shit's worldwide, son. No, it's Nerfy.
Mr. 305, Mr. Worldwide, coming at you.
I like it.
Later on, we're also going to do a snake draft. We don't have anything to grade this week, so we can jump right into it later on.
Scotty had an issue with Nathan, and he's made a formal plea to not have him grade any more drafts. So, Scotty, if you want to air that out right now, I think now's the time.
Yeah, well, first things first, Nathan's a cuck, so there's one. I mean, I guess I could go logically, but the fact that every single time, it doesn't matter what we're grading, Nathan always has to be like, well, first off, I didn't like this pick, and then the second worst pick was this pick, and then every single time it's both of my picks. It's like, he just doesn't get me. It's like my fucking dad when I was 13. And then
it's not a phase, Dad.
And then his favorite pick, always, the first one he always picks out is always Shelby's pick. So it's really kind of biased, even though Shelby has picks that Nathan specifically likes more. So I think that it unevenly weighs the scales. I'm a scientist.
I think it's just the aligned interest of some milquetoast white dudes, but that could just 100%,
be me. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll kick off.
Don't put that shit
you guys are white.
I'll kick off. Why don't you?
Fuck us.
Why don't you get back to your important work?
Ever seen The Sun?
You're too good for us. You're over here big timing us, which we could get into later if you'd like. Okay, I'm going to start with my stand. So a big win for the Free Britney movement. Britney Spears' dad is stepping down as her.
Would that be a stardom?
Executor, or whatever it's called.
Is this your sit-em?
No, this is my stand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That would be a stardom.
Thank you.
Why?
Because doesn't personally have something to do with you.
Maybe it does.
Oh, we haven't heard the rest of the story.
It personally makes my day better.
God.
Well, I have
such a Zach fucking thing.
I have a different stardom, so
okay.
Why don't you lick my scrum? Okay, so yeah,
is that an invitation?
I think that's something that clearly when I found out about, which I'd known about before the documentary became popular. I've been in the movement for a long time.
I'm sure you have.
I think it just like when you look at what has been going on to this poor woman for years, it's kind of sad. But at the same time, she's rich and famous, so you take what you can get, I guess. Scotty, do you have a stand?
I do, and I have a live stand for you though, Zach.
Oh,
Joe Flacco just threw a 79-yard touchdown pass. And it was a 2-yard route, and the wide receiver just ran the rest of the way. But everyone's saying Flacco season and Flacco's back, so
looks like a bomb in the box score.
It looks like
Jets?
a bomb.
I was literally going to say
Eagles.
That's right.
Wow.
Fly Eagles.
John Elway in an Eagles jersey. Number 7.
Wow.
Number 7?
Yeah.
No, number 7 would have to look weird on Flacco.
Yeah, it does. It looks strange.
I
thought it was Sudfeld.
I'm going to get in front of that. I'm gonna get in front of that now and say I haven't seen it, but then I just know that's gonna.
Who's
look
number
weird.
9 there?
I don't fucking know. It doesn't.
Yeah,
Flacco wasn't 9 in Philly or in Baltimore.
Oh no, yeah, who's 5?
You didn't know Flacco's number?
Forgot his number.
Jesus Christ!
I hated him. What do you want me to do?
Tough.
What do you want me to say?
That's bad.
No, I get it.
I don't know. Probably a scrimmage QB. Flacco's like, I'm tired of this shit.
It's like he's like, I'd like number 5, please. He's like, sorry, our water boy's got that number.
I think they were probably like, I think Flacco's like, I hope no one recognizes me as the 3rd string quarterback. Give me number 7.
Okay.
My
did you have
stand.
okay. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
I do have a stand. It's my last week's podcast.
Okay. Sure.
My favorite.
Was
I
it how
have some
fast
favorite
it got
parts.
published? Because that was hot.
Yeah. Even though I didn't listen to it until a couple days ago.
My job could be so easy if we all recorded together. Scotty.
Last week's podcast. My favorite things are like Jeremiah slights.
Oh.
I had a few under the radar like backdoor comments that just barely made
they were.
it in.
Yeah, they were funny. He was just like, what Jeremiah was picking. You guys were picking the team for Jeremiah, and like Shelby's like, okay, Jeremiah. He goes like, who the fuck cares? Like, honestly, who the fuck?
No, I think one time I was just like, okay, Jeremiah has the Tigers, and then like it paused, and then I'm like, Jeremiah kind of sucks.
Jeremiah fucking sucks, literally. It's just like the dude's done nothing wrong.
Yeah,
but,
dude hasn't done anything to me ever.
My favorite part of the entire podcast, and it like didn't get a laugh from Nathan or Shelby, but it was like Zach was like, is there a radio call of Babe Ruth's called shot? And he's like, and on the radio, and it's like, and then there's Babe Ruth. He's like, and women still can't vote. Just that, like, you guys just went on. I was like, how is that not fucking...
Whitey Willoughby.
He's like, a woman still can't vote. 1932 is a fucking asshole.
Even though they could.
Yeah, they could. But
Yeah, right. I know.
No, that makes it funnier.
Did you have a stand?
I was gonna kind of get into it with my job, but I guess the stand could be bouncing back.
Okay.
I do need one that's personal to me, so the Reds would be a stardom. My stardom is not watching collapses because I was working all last night.
Oh yeah.
And I saw the Reds were down 5-1, what have you, and then randomly I just saw like 5-3, like going through Twitter, and then I saw it was an extra innings, and I put my head down, had like an hour straight of work. I refreshed Twitter, and it's just Scotty like, I can't fathom like how the Reds could lose. And I'm like, oh, glad I didn't.
I
watch
didn't
this.
DM it though. You could just, you know what I mean.
No, I know I'm not blaming you or anything. I like this. It worked out better that I got the news that way.
Yeah. So my bunk is the
Is it yourself
injury.
for canceling yourself for outing Jeffree Star?
No kidding.
I outed Jeffree Star.
Yeah. How do you? Is he officially?
Scotty's
out?
more refreshed on our podcast.
I thought that person has this individual had been a known member of the LGBTQ community for a while. I didn't.
Board's still yours while you're not in jail.
The fella.
Yes. Zach just tight-roped the Grand Canyon with that last sentence.
So, bunk, Bateman injury, surgery, definitely going to miss week 1. Harbaugh said back sometime in September, which...
Well, good thing you're not a Bengals fan, because that would mean, like, definitely IR. And maybe coming back at Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's sad. And then we still have Hollywood, a question mark, with his foot stuff. Who knows what's going on with him. But at the end of the day, it's... As long as the running backs are healthy.
Think about it like
Lamar
this.
Jackson.
It won't be until the NFL playoffs that I get to see Jamal Murray hoop again. So, perspective.
Ooh. Wait, what?
I won't get to see... It won't be until the NFL playoffs until I see Jamal Murray hoop again.
I thought you said NBA playoffs.
He'll be back in January.
Yeah, gotcha. Most likely. Best case scenario.
You got a bunk?
I do. It's the Scotty digs on the last podcast. My ring fucking counts. There's no
Scotty
Mickey Mouse in here.
Mickey.
And the other bunk was Nathan's.
Congrats on your championship, Scotty.
Nathan's ranking system. I'm tied for the most, so I'm coming for the crown as far as the. I'm not good at the snake drafts, but I'm good at fucking fantasy football, so I'm gonna take a third this year.
Yeah, it's something you can shove up Zach and Nathan's ass.
I can.
I mean, for the time being, that they'd have to, at least the next 2 years.
Scotty,
we'll have more championships.
Scotty, who are you taking number one right after me?
Ooh.
I'm gonna wait
let's
to
get this out of the way.
I'm gonna wait to
Fantasy
see
draft.
what you.
Zach
have.
has the third.
Well, if he's still there, I'm taking Lamar. I've made it known.
Oh, okay.
He's
I probably won't
announced
take a
that he's
quarterback.
taking Lamar.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked for me last year.
That's what I said.
It'll be Mahomes. It'll be Holmes one.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I shouldn't have said that. I just edit that out because Kenny's gonna hear that and be like, "I'm taking Lamar."
Leave it in. He's not going to take Lamar.
Yeah, you won't.
I promise.
I hope. Yeah. So hopefully he's there, and then there's another player I hope that's still there when it snakes back.
You're gonna take
to
a
me.
running back.
Not a Raven.
You're gonna take a. I guess you're taking a running back first round too. Then, if you're taking Lamar.
Got me.
Damn it.
Zing.
I mean, if you guys are laying it up for me, I'm just gonna fucking take it. It's free points.
That was a layup.
Nothing flashy.
My bunk was I had a white polo on today, and a pen exploded on me.
Oh God. Well, you look snazzy now.
I know, like this is a
Should have went with this
solid
originally.
solid backup shirt. I know, but it's also not drenched in sweat, which was what the white one was when the pen.
That's why you wear white when you meet your heroes.
I don't get that.
Why? Because your nipples sweat.
Because you cum in your pants.
Oh, okay.
Got him.
Maybe that's one of those ones we'll look back, I won't be listening and like, oh, that was actually funny.
Yeah, jokes are always great when you have to explain them. My stardom is Shondy Brown's shoes.
Sure.
He plays for Summer League, whoever the Knicks just played. The Knicks Summer League team. Because he's the one who guards Obi, and his shoes exploded in the active defense against Obi today. So that's pretty cool. Obi's tearing it up in the Summer League.
What was his name?
Shondy, Chaundee Brown.
Okay, Freezing Cold Takes found a tweet that literally some reporter was like, Shondy, what was his last name?
Brown.
Shondy Brown, slips, but his shoes don't explode like Zion's did. This was literally 2019, and Freezing Cold Takes found that. Just unreal.
That's a great research team. Stardom, Scotty.
My stardom's going to be the Vikings practice fields. Have you guys seen their training camp fields? I mean, why would you, right? They have fucking... So how the Bengals or the Ravens or the Broncos just have a fucking dirt field next to the whatever, a semi-nice field next to the practice facility in most cases. So
Sure.
the Vikings...
The Bengals practice field is all turf.
Well, right. It's turf, but... The Vikings literally have 4 practice fields with stands in each one of them.
Yeah,
it's
holy
like a
shit.
fucking, it's like
Look
an
at this.
experience. Yeah, look it up.
That is pretty cool. They're right on the river, too.
Yeah, I mean it's like
That's
a
really
ridiculous
cool.
practice.
TCO
I was
Stadium.
they make it like going to a game to go to a fucking training camp practice. That's just
A quick trip to the chat for you guys. Look at the field the Dallas Football Cowboys practice on.
Yeesh.
Looks like absolute trash.
yeah, it does.
Well, they had
does.
that surrounded by houses, which we can get into with our Hard
I know
Knocks talk.
Eagles, Washington, and Giants reps have been fucking renting out those houses on Airbnb for the last 6 years.
Not a
Yeah.
bad play.
Laugh, that's funny.
Stardom?
Fuck you guys.
Shelby?
It was the Reds bouncing back today, winning big in Atlanta after I finally decided to fade them. The devil works hard, the Reds work harder.
No good deed.
Shelby,
goes
I'm going to have to
unpunished.
see your
All
notes for
right,
this episode afterwards.
Oh, shut the fuck up. It's so true.
I'm going to need you to step into my office, Mr. Dermer.
Oh, my bunk is also cameraman.
Our sponsors
because,
aren't going to like this no preparation.
Yeah, no shit. My bunk is, or my sit-em rather, is cameraman because Deshaun Watson just finally
Yeah.
he had enough. He was he gets filmed every day walking into Texans training camp as the fourth string safety. He's like, why are you filming me every damn day? Basically,
He's like, it's the same
and
shit.
Also, I sit him as Atlas because I'm about to 1-2 punch.
Come here, buddy. Leave him alone. All right, my situm.
That'll stop.
My situm is voice actors. The new episode of Marvel's What If aired, and boy, it was fucking awful. And I think the worst part is, and there's going to be a running theme with this series, is the fact that they didn't get a good portion of a lot of the people who play these live action characters to do the voice work. I mean, you pay them. You know, if you're $50,000, you get your Disney. You can pay them $50,000 to stand in a soundproof room for 2 hours and record some audio for a 30-second episode. I don't understand what's so hard about that. And Dave Bautista of WWE fame was asked, like, why aren't you on IMDb as voicing your character for this? And he said, nobody ever asked me. So, and then James Gunn, the director of Guardians, replied and said, what?
Probably didn't want to pay.
Guess not. I think in this first episode, the worst part about it was that Chris Evans didn't voice Steve Rogers, which really took me out of it. Aside from that, the writing was pretty bad too. So don't have high hopes for this.
Well, if you're not going to have one voice actor there, don't have the other, because that's just going to be weirder. If you have like Captain America,
right? Because they've got Sebastian Stan and Dominic Cooper and Haley Atwell for all their characters.
Stupid.
But they don't. Yeah.
Ben
DiNucci. I was happy. Yeah. Well, why don't we go with that?
Nope,
why don't
I
we
haven't
go right
said
into
them.
Hard
Thank
Knocks
you.
talk?
I haven't said them. Thank you.
Oh,
okay.
It's preseason overs.
Okay.
Because it's unders all day, baby. Under. Yeah, I got it parlayed.
They're like 33. Something like in the 30s.
Yeah,
for a
won't
lot
even
of
hit
these.
30s.
Well, if you guys noticed, the Patriots game opened 31, closed 37 and a
Really?
half.
Yikes.
So everyone was on over because preseason week 1 has been like historically over city.
Well, I have them under.
Like, yeah. Well,
at 30.
I mean, it's
I have them under 35 and a half.
Yeah. But yeah, like the overs in week 1 preseason have been like
Quick check of the score.
been a winning record.
Going into halftime, 6-0 Patriots. Yeah.
This conquest is most enjoyable.
I'm sure that's
Love
funny,
that.
whatever that's from.
How I Met Your Mother.
How I Met Your Mother.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Well, let's move right into Hard Knocks. Scotty.
I'll hang up and listen.
Okay. I'll take my answer off the air. Scotty, what is what are your thoughts? Initial thoughts, reactions. What'd you think of that surgery, Sky?
I just thought it was a scar. Like, I don't know. You got a weak stomach.
For some things.
Oh, I'll be the deciding vote. I haven't seen it yet. Go on.
Drop my pen. Okay. Yeah, I thought that was pretty gross. I thought it was heartwarming, the friendship between Dak and Zeke.
Zach, it just kind of looks like a scar.
I don't know. It was jarring to me. I don't know. It caught me off guard. I mean, I'm sure the longer I look at it, it's just like, okay, whatever. I mean, I've had knee surgery myself, so I've been there. But
fuck Atlas.
My takeaway is that Dak,
get the fuck out of here.
Dak has a cooler personality than I thought he did. I thought he was kind of a stick in the mud. I don't know, not cool. And Ezekiel Elliott is looks like fucking not fat.
Yeah, he's definitely I don't know, the beard is kind of, I think when he was fat the beard didn't help, but now it looks good. Because when he was this whole time at Ohio State, he didn't have any facial hair, but now he's got this Santa Claus beard.
Right. That's
gigantic, and I think that when you're fat, that makes it look worse. Take it from me, but
you know what was a legendary move for Zeke Elliott?
Cornrows were cool too.
The legendary move for Zeke Elliott was working out in a sweatshirt. Fat guys working out in sweatshirts is a fucking
that always plays.
That's a move right there. That's a fucking vibe.
Yeah, and they're in Southern California doing this, so it's in August. It's hot as hell.
You want to lose weight?
So
work out with a sweatshirt. I should just fucking sell a masterclass, and that just be my one video.
Just work out in a sweatshirt. Other notable moments for me, I thought it was kind of weird that they decided to show just in the film room nothing about football. It was just this guy talking about his vasectomy and all the players asking, what's it like to get it reversed? And he's like, I don't know. So anyways, let's start talking about football, and then it cuts to something else. It's like, that's all it was about. There's like no preamble for
It's an
actually
educational
talking
TV
sports.
show. I found
guess
it.
so, yeah.
I found it.
I was just like, I was watching. I was like, I forgot I turned on Grey's Anatomy. But yeah, it was. I guess it was pretty funny. And I had no idea DQ Dan Quinn in Dallas as their defensive coordinator. That guy has the mouth of a sailor. Let me tell you. I
heard he goes F-bombs a lot.
Every other word. And it was actually cool to see him call down to Micah Parsons during that Hall of Fame game. Call down to Micah Parsons on the sideline, and Mike was like, "Let me get another series." He's like, "Nope." And Micah was almost threw a fit. He's like, he wanted to play again. He wanted to get more time.
Chill out, Rook.
Wouldn't let him. Scotty, anything else stand out to you from Hard Knocks?
No. I didn't know Dak Prescott was like injured, but nothing else stood out to me. Injured again.
You didn't know he was in. Oh, you're talking about his arm. Just an arm strain.
Didn't he have surprise surgery that they kept under wraps?
Yeah.
That I do not know.
No, yeah, it was a separate surgery on his ankle, last year that he had never told anyone about.
I don't like that.
I think it was just like a scope.
Second surgery.
They just like clean shit out.
Oh God.
Shame. I know your name. All right. Anything else on Hard Knocks? We good to move on?
Is it just automatically bet? Like, I haven't watched it. That's why I haven't really participated. But
way better than last year already.
Just
only like one or maybe two mentions of COVID.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask. You got me. Okay.
Yeah,
and it was all
they made two comments about it. It's like, it's nice to have Peyton Manning was like, it's nice to have these fans back in the stands when they're.
Yeah, that's when Scotty said that. It's so true. Is like, it makes me want to draft every Cowboys receiver first round. It's like last year just made me want to turn the TV off.
Well,
yeah.
It's like when last year's opened up with Anthony Lynn on a Zoom, I was like, oh my God.
Well, it was better because they also, this episode at least, showed every like star Cowboys player. There wasn't any like undrafted dudes who I don't really give a fuck about.
They're coming.
I know. But at least for this episode, it was like all, it was CeeDee Lamb, Zeke Elliott, Dak Prescott, Micah Parsons, all the key guys.
Micah Parsons' mom is cute. Not like looks cute, but it's cute that she's at all those games and supporting her son. Very cute.
Oh, she be eating.
Yeah, on and off the field. Okay. Let's go into Scotty. You said you had mentioned unders for preseason. We still have some more preseason week 1 games left to go tomorrow and Saturday and Sunday. I like that they're spreading them out. Do you have? And are you just sticking with the unders the rest of the time, or is there anything else that's kind of sticking out to you?
I just have a parlay for the unders.
Just
Not
parlay
all of
for
them.
the unders.
Not all of them.
Okay. Do they allow player props for
No,
preseason
I don't
games?
think so.
No.
I don't believe so.
Yeah, it's sad because it's almost like a tease, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, I want to do all the things that I love about betting in the regular season right now, but I can't.
Whatever. I'm watching football on TV. That's all I give a fuck about.
Yeah. Exactly. And looks like tomorrow the Bengals play the Vikings?
No, the Vikings play the Broncos.
Where's the preseason bets?
The Bengals play the Buccaneers Saturday.
Okay. This is showing me week 1 stuff. Lawrenceburg's not showing me preseason.
Yeah, they don't have lines. Very weird. But like our online book does. My best bet.
I'm gonna check that.
I bet the Jacksonville Jaguars +3 against the Browns like 3 weeks ago, and now they're -1.5. So pretty good closing line value for your boy.
That's great value.
Do you guys know that on the online book they have player props for the season now? Like Nick Chubb rushing out. Yeah, it's just under player props in the NFL. Like Cortland Sutton.
Let's take a gander.
They have Cortland Sutton receiving yards, which I was like, what?
They have AJ Green receiving touchdowns. Over under is set at 5.
Does Melvin Gordon score more than 7.5 touchdowns? I think so. In 17
Probably.
games?
Yeah. I mean, if he plays them all. Don't you put that evil on me. What do you think about your
rushing yards?
your
Melvin Gordon
pal?
rushing yards. There it is. I've been looking for this too. It wasn't available at Lawrenceburg, was it? Melvin Gordon rushing yards is 850.5. Minus 115 both ways.
Shelby,
Yes.
your old pal, AJ Green, over under 5 touchdowns. What do you like?
Under.
Who fucking knows?
Okay. Over under receiving yards 650 in the hook.
Under.
Are you taking all unders on this? Reception set at 60 in the hook. Under. Well, he's filling in the role of Larry Fitzgerald, who's recently retired as old man receiver.
Did he actually retire, or is he still like 1 foot in the water, 1 out?
Well, he didn't have any player props, if that's what you're asking.
Well, that doesn't mean much.
DeAndre Hopkins set at 9.5 receiving touchdowns, 1350.5 receiving yards. I kind of like the under there. What do you think, Scotty?
For who?
Oh, DeAndre Hopkins.
Oh.
1350 in the hook for receiving yards. It seems high to me.
Under.
Yeah. It's just unders all around. It's set even.
I see
over
overs
under
all
minus
around.
115.
I mean, do you think?
Oh,
I
yeah?
think Tyreek Hill has over 87.5 catches in a 17-game season. Yes.
Mm-hmm. I like the under on Calvin Ridley's receiving yards. I really don't think any receiver in Atlanta is going to get more than 1,100 receiving yards, let alone 1,400. 14. I think Matt Ryan's noodle arm next year.
Robert Woods.
Calvin Ridley set at 1,400 and a half.
Robert Woods' touchdowns is only 4.5.
Where's he playing now? Is he still with the Rams?
Yes.
Huh.
4.5 touchdowns. Minus 140 is the over. But, I mean, it's still great value if you think he's going to get 5 touchdowns.
I kind of like the under on J.K. Dobbins' rushing yards, 1,100 and a half.
Now we're just kind of all over the place, though.
Yeah, that's true. Sorry. I was going down the list. Okay. All right. So let's move on. So let's kind of talk about it. We'll do it either next week or week after, but we're set it up. We're going to be doing a fantasy draft for the 3 of us and Nathan because we needed an even number here. So we are going to be drafting super teams, fantasy teams, and then we're going to be going. Did we decide? Do we want to go head to head, just rotate against each other, just playing each other each week, or do we like point total?
I like point total, just all 4 of us against each other.
Okay. Yeah, and then whoever has the most wins at the end of the season, whoever has the most points at the end of the season wins. Yeah. Okay. So whoever wins the most weeks out of the 4 of us. Got it. So we will do that coming up here soon, which leads us to, I believe, our last segment, which is going to be our Mount Rushmore or snake draft, whatever you want to call it, of biggest fantasy draft busts. Who's going first?
Can I get in on pros and cons of training camp first?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh
so,
yeah, I totally forgot about that. Forgot this segment. Things that you love about training camp, things you hate about training camp.
Okay, obviously talking to the players is cool after seeing them on TV all the time. But
yeah, let me just preface that Shelby is actually at training camp. He's there talking to players for the Cincinnati Enquirer.
Yeah, it was fun. So today was like probably one of the better ones. Trey Hendrickson, Zach Taylor, Jamar Chase, Travion Williams. So that was cool. It's just the part of training camps that sucked. Obviously, we're still in the COVID era, and before you go to practice, you have to find this gate underneath the stadium, which I could not find the first day I did it. And you have to get a tracker that tracks all
contact tracing.
Contact tracing for all your movements, and it beeps if you get within 6 feet of another person with a tracker.
But fans can come and
fans aren't allowed. No.
Well, no, they're allowed to go there. They don't have to get trackers or anything when they have those days.
When they have those 3, they had 3 family days where they had fans, and they did you don't know if they're vaccinated or not, what have you.
Yeah, but you have to wear a tracker.
You have to have a vaccination
and a vaccination
card and a negative test within 10 days. But
did they, when they tested you, did they jam it up? They did the nose test?
Up the nose, it was awful.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's just like an itch. You can't. It's just an uncomfortable feeling.
Yeah.
And then around the practice field, there's just an orange line all the way around the practice field that you can't step over, or I don't know. I didn't step over it, but you guess you'd probably get yelled at if you did. And then just how effing hot it was. The 2 days I was down at practice, it was 93 on Tuesday, and it was 94 today, and just unbearable. And it's even worse. A huge bump that I forgot to mention is when you're hot and you're outside and you're like in need of a haircut, because it's just everything's worse. Like if you had a haircut, it'd be a lot better. Yeah, that's about it. It's a lot of fun.
What was your favorite question that you asked?
Rate my Shmee.
Rate my speech.
And any good response? Any good responses that you were like caught off guard on?
Well, I asked Zach Taylor if he'd have any memories of like going to Tampa Bay this weekend, since he played for the Buccaneers for like 2 weeks, which got a laugh. And then Trey.
What's the best strip club in Tampa?
Yeah. What if you just answered seriously?
Yeah. And then it's Diamonds over on.
And then for Trey Hendrickson, I asked if he'd be the easiest to block on the Bengals defensive line, because last year Bruce Arians said that he was the easiest defensive lineman to block on the Saints, and then he had like 3 sacks on Tom Brady. So then so just by coincidence, his first game with the Bengals this Saturday in Tampa, I was like, you think Bruce Arians still thinks you're the easiest guy to block?
Nice.
But for the most part, yeah, that one I was like okay to be fun with, because he was the first interview this morning, and I was one of only 3 media members there. Like everyone was late today for some reason.
Nice.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna let one fly here.
You remember in New Orleans when you sacked the player?
Yeah.
That was awesome.
But it's but also at the same time, it's like Bengals media that work for Bengals.com. They just have free reign over anything. And like, while we're talking to the Bengals rookie kicker, Evan McPherson, today, they're talking to Jesse Bates, who was like sounding off about his lack of contract. So it's like they're getting the steak, and we're getting,
But you're in earshot at least.
No,
down?
they're upstairs.
Oh, okay. I thought you said you
they're
could hear
upstairs.
what they were
they're
saying.
upstairs in the media. What?
Check the DMs and tell me if this quote was in response to your question.
Okay, 1 second.
I didn't even know
You could be cut before camp.
Of his short Bucks tenure in 2018.
No, Andy.
It sounds like 5 hours ago.
Yeah, he had like a laughable answer to mine, but no, this was this was from 2018. That was an article in 2018.
Oh, that's sad. Why did you post it 5 hours ago? Whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. Also, it's kind of hard because every day is you get there at 11:45 for player interviews, but you don't know which players are coming. So they just roll in random players, and you just kind of find stuff on the spot.
Lucked
to ask
out with
them.
Hendrickson.
Yeah, I know. He was the first one today. And after practice, you can request guys, but not if they're a starter.
Wouldn't you love to be there in the days when Chad Johnson's just lived there?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Whoa.
Earthquake in
I
Columbus.
dropped my wine glass.
Did it have wine in it?
No.
Thank God.
But
That's
it's
all for me.
intact, so we're good.
All right. Yeah, so real quick on things I love and hate about training camp and preseason. Things that I love, particularly this one is news story, like the reaching news stories that they do. I think the fact that it's refreshing, the fact that Lamar Jackson, I'm kind of glad that he's not vaccinated, because that's all they're talking about, instead of the same old thing where, is this going to be the season where Lamar learns how to throw the football? Like,
Yeah.
He wanted an MVP. Why don't we just chill out? The things I hate the most are definitely injuries, because but it's like a double-edged sword, because you always feel like they're avoidable in preseason and training camp. Like, how do you get injured? You shouldn't be pushing these guys that hard that are valuable, but at the same time, it's like you want to see what they got and you want to get them reps and get them started for the season, I guess.
Right. And so the Bengals offense had been like struggling all fucking camp until I got there, and they were good. And I quickly found out if I report stuff about their offense being good, it just blows up.
People,
And I was like, people just love
give the
it.
people what they
And I was
love.
like, because like today, their 7-on-7 drive, Burrow had 4 completions, and they were all to Tyler Boyd, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. And
Beautiful.
I was like, oh, they're gonna love this.
Bro, I'm telling you, it's like Locke throws a 15-yard pass, beautiful, and it's like,
Yeah,
it's
just
got like
throw it
67
about it.
retweets, and then
Yeah.
it's like he throws an interception. It's like, here we go again, another season in torture. It's like, fuck, dude.
Yeah, like all I said today was Logan Wilson blitzed and had a free run at Burrow. He forced him to throw it away.
Yeah.
And 3 people just the Iron Man, who plays him? Robert De Niro.
Robert Downey Jr.
Oh shit.
God.
Robert Downey Jr.
Robert De
Can you
Niro.
imagine Robert De Niro
with Jinxie,
in the mall?
triangle, circle of
Talking
trust.
to me?
Yeah, talking about Logan Wilson. But yeah, that gif of Robert Downey
Him
Jr.
rolling his
Rolling his eyes. So I was like, oh, people are great.
From Avengers 2012. Yep. All right, so sorry, Scotty. Did you have anything else you wanted to touch on with training camp, preseason, anything like that before we move on?
Nope.
You were sharing some videos. You seem high on Teddy Two Gloves.
Oh, I just wanted you to see the balls. That's all. I'm just game respecting the game.
That's when I knew football was back, when Scotty sent me a Teddy Bridgewater throw from 2015.
Yep.
I was like, yep.
Hey, I'm just doing my research. I'm just watching
Beautiful. All right.
film like the pros.
Okay, so we are going to. What's the order? Do you remember what our order was last
I
time?
have no clue.
Let's start with Scotty. Or Scotty, you don't like starting, do you?
I don't care.
I'll let you pick since you only have 2.5 wins. You can pick the order.
It was unnecessary for you to point that out. I'll go first.
Okay.
No, I won't go first.
All right.
I'll go third. Thanks.
Oh, okay.
You
Well,
guys
let me
can
just change that
fucking play
real
rock
quick.
paper scissors. I don't care.
You know what? I'll go first. Shelby, you can go second. Scotty will go third. Because I'm not afraid of a challenge. Okay. My number 1 pick, I think it's... I don't know. There's a lot of good ones that I have, but I think it's got to be Le'Veon Bell. You could take your pick, 2018 or 2019, the sit-out year or the year with the Jets. I think the Jets was even a bigger bust because you had higher hopes of him actually playing. That's gonna be
my
my
first round. That's a good pick.
Scotty. Didn't you have him at his first year at the Jets?
Second year at the Jets last year.
Second year at the Jets. Okay.
Drafted him as my third
All right,
RB.
Shelby.
They're like, oh, he's gonna make it.
And I had a bet with Scotty on Le'Veon Bell under for the year. And it was,
Yes, not on a team. Oh,
It pushed.
I thought you meant right now you do.
Huh?
It pushed.
Oh yeah, we decided on a push because I'm a nice guy and I was drunk.
That's how I get him.
So you could say that the
Yeah, I forgot I fucking.
You
let
could
you
say
off
there
the
was
bet.
questionable consent there. Okay.
No shit.
Shelby, who's your pick? Oh, how many picks are
It
we
was
doing? I forgot to
implied.
say. Like, how many do you want to do?
Like 5.
Five?
Implied dips. 5. I'm gonna go with Jamal Charles for me.
Okay. What
He was
year?
like a guy.
Do you have
What
a
year?
year in mind?
I would
It's
say.
fine. I mean, if you've got like an air, like a span, because what I went really deep into it, there were some that
Apparently.
I looked at like what they had the year they were the bust compared to what they had the year before.
Yeah, I know the year exactly because it was the 2016 draft.
Okay, so
Excuse me, 2015 draft.
15.
Looking at his sheet now, he was shit in both games, but it was just like he's the top receiver. I remember the draft specifically in our league because I thought I won the league that night. Is because I got Odell Beckham as the top. I got whoever the top quarterback was, probably Rodgers, and then I got Jamal Charles and Odell Beckham, and I'm like, I'm set. And he played in 5 games, only ran for 360 yards and 4 tutties. So, and he
Yeesh.
was coming off 3 straight 1,000-yard seasons. That kind of spawned my whole this guy's gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
Pessimism. That's why I'm not drafting Dalvin Cook this year.
Do we want
He's gonna
to
get hurt.
limit to positions or just free reign over all these?
Let's go free reign.
Okay. All right, Scotty, go ahead.
I'm going with Aaron Rodgers the first year that Matt LaFleur was coach.
2017?
2019.
19.
So year before last.
Okay.
I had him, in our 2 QB league, first round pick. I'm like, it's Aaron Rodgers, easy,
Right.
And
It's chicken. It's
I mean
fried chicken.
that dude was like in QB 19 or something like, he was in the bottom half.
He's been surprisingly non-elite like 5 of the last 6 years. The last year was an exception.
Last year was a
Before that,
huge exception.
Well, I guess stat wise he wasn't. They still won 13 games.
Yeah.
So I mean that's my pick. And
Okay. And you follow it up with
Julio Jones. I think he went. There's one stretch where he didn't score a touchdown in 19 games straight.
King of the yardage.
So
If you got him in PPR league, it's not that bad.
it was. I mean, it's not like he was putting up major stats either. He was just a threat on for the offense. Yeah, I mean, and then you also had he had Sanu and Ridley. I think that in the same time period. So
Bengals legend.
So he wasn't. I mean, he wasn't getting his full number one receiver share. So I don't know why he's rated so highly with the Titans. I don't think he's gonna have a great year, but yeah. That I mean, those
Coming
are my
in
two.
to replace Corey Davis.
How many picks of these are we
Right?
doing? Corey Davis. Yeah, probably
5.
Okay.
5. Okay, Shelby.
I'm gonna go. Well, I kind of hinted at it. It's Odell Beckham.
Okay.
I mean, I'm gonna say 2017, because was the year he bombed. He only played 4 games, but even
Like that was the Madden curse year, wasn't it? He was on the cover of
could be.
Madden. Was he 16 or 17? I can't remember.
but
He's 16 because Brady was on the cover of 17.
regardless, it's in
No,
2
Brady's
years with the Browns. It's like, is he? You're kind of wondering right now. Is he still elite? I mean, with the Browns, he had over 1,000 yards his first year, but that's not even an accomplishment really anymore. Over 1,000 yards, it's like 60 yards a game, 64 yards a game he had.
Really, yeah, and then
Last year he was averaging 45 yards a game, and the Browns' offense got better when he wasn't demanding
Injured
his
and-
share of the targets. So, but my year's 2017 with the Giants. He had 3 straight years of double-digit touchdowns,
Yep.
3 straight years over 1,300 yards receiving, and he played in only 4 games, 300 yards.
And I
Just
think in a
dreadful
lot of
game.
fantasy leagues, the majority of points you're going to get are from number of receptions and number of touchdowns, as opposed to just straight yardage, unless you have bonuses
Right, yeah,
like we do.
exactly.
All right, I'm going with this one. I couldn't believe that I had forgotten until I went back and looked. He was on my team the year that he was a bust, and that's 2011 Peyton Hillis.
Yeah.
Because the year before he had
that's a good one.
1,177 rushing yards and 11 touchdowns. The year I drafted him, our first year of the fantasy league, he had 587 yards and 3 touchdowns. So, yeah, I was a newbie to the whole fantasy draft thing. I was like, Peyton Hillis, he was on the cover of Madden. Why don't I pick him? Why don't I take him in the draft? And he ended up sucking shit. So, I'm also gonna go with Todd Gurley, 2016.
Yeah.
His last year with the second to last year
What?
with the Rams.
No, the Rams. He was at the Rams.
You
in
should
2018.
you should say
God.
28, the year after they went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, 2018
19
Rams.
Rams.
Well,
2019.
2016 he only had 885 yards and 6 touchdowns.
How about
When do you?
the year how about this last year? I mean that's a good one.
Well, I don't think he had already sucked, and
Actually, he had a
his
touchdown
rookie season
cap.
was his rookie season was what, 15, right?
Yeah, he
had
was rookie of the year, and
in
he
15.
kind of had a decent year on a bad team. And then with the Rams, it was like whatever. And then, I mean, you're picking the year right before he exploded
Yeah.
back-to-back years.
I guess so.
Really, yeah. And then, yeah, I mean, even with the Rams, and I remember I had him with the Rams in 19, where he was getting like
Oh, he will had one of the best
50 yards a game.
best seasons.
He was getting like 50 yards a game. That's it. But he would have a touchdown every
right.
week.
Right. That's the year I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
16 or I guess 19 was the year he fell off.
Yeah, rushing yards wise, but he was like a goal line guy.
Yeah.
And then it's tough because he really he was noticed as declining when the Rams were going to the playoffs and they were giving C.J. Anderson all the carries.
That was
Yeah,
wa-
well, he
that
was
was
in-
such
he
a
had that
that's like
injury
the,
that was
still
nagging
one of
him,
the weirdest sequences in NFL history.
It's one of the weirdest because the Rams never put him on the injury report and he was clearly injured.
Well, he was also having an
That's what I was
MVP
apparently-
season, and he just went from MVP to
I think-
grandma.
Yeah,
I think what
arthritis.
happened
That's
there
so
is
crazy.
that Sean McVay was trying to play mind games with Bill Belichick.
No, but it was like that throughout the playoffs and like the last couple weeks of the regular season. That's why they brought in C.J. Anderson.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
But like that's why I heard on. It might have been Straight Outta Vegas or something where like he was never on the injury report, so his rushing yards total in the Super Bowl was like 70 something. So it was like the easiest under of all time.
Yeah.
And it was like the Rams should have got fined because he was clearly injured, but whatever.
All right, who's your pick,
I
Shelby?
have a fucking awesome pick.
Okay.
And Scotty, you're gonna absolutely agree this is an awesome pick.
Mm-hmm.
Monty Ball.
Oh, that's a great pick.
Monte Ball.
It's gonna
2014.
go. Yeah, dude, fuck that. Especially when he's supposed to take over, right? Like as the starter and shit.
Yeah, so I don't know what this was like, you grab a Yahoo Fantasy sheet before the draft and you just, let them do the rankings.
Yeah.
And so in 2013 as a rookie, he ran for 550 yards, 4 touchdowns. Whatever, he's a rookie.
Yeah.
No Sean Marino's there at the time. 2014, he's supposed to take over.
2013, he had a pretty
be the
solid
lead
year
back.
as a rookie. I mean, like as a backup, like 500 something
Yeah,
yards.
I mean, a
6
backup, 550 yards, 4 tutties, like what have you. And 2014, he's set to take over. I remember picking him 10th overall. He was sandwiched with Jeremy Hill,
Ooh.
who ended up going off 2014. But long story short, Monty Ball played in 5 games, didn't crack 200
Became an
yards,
alcoholic.
scored a touchdown. Yeah, never played again. So, didn't even get that 3-year bonus you get for life, health insurance for life, if you play 3 years in the NFL.
Seriously, you get that? It's pretty nice. I need
Yeah.
to find a way to the NFL.
That's pretty. Yeah, it's like, I'm only a Super Bowl and an MVP behind Mahomes
Yeah,
at this
dude.
point.
That's my thing though. You can't take my thing.
Yeah, I know that is your thing. That's
Thank
my bad.
All right, sorry, Scotty, go ahead.
Royce Freeman in 2018.
Ah, yeah. Oh, I'm old enough to remember that.
You said 2018,
2018.
or 19?
Royce Freeman was supposed to be the big thing. He was a 3rd-round pick, and he exploded in the preseason. Well, lo and behold, Phillip Lindsay
Don't
by
see
the
a
end of the
trend
year
here
was
with-
rushing for 1,000 yards in the lead back.
The downhill guy.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the Broncos always make you think that they got like the next Terrell Davis, but it's really just like a bunch of slow dudes with
Royce Freeman.
their tires have been treaded, and yeah, that's my pick there. The second one, dude, this is where I start to lose. I have no fucking idea. But I guess I'll go with Corey Coleman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I mean, he was going to be the Browns' number 1 receiver. Back in 2015.
Yeah.
And he just was awful. Obviously barely played a down in the NFL, and still trying to make his round. So, yeah, that's mine. Actually, Corey Coleman, that would be 2016/2017.
16, 17.
Yep.
Got it. All right, Shelby.
Yeah, the breakout star who never was. Really not his fault with the quarterbacks he had, though. That was before Baker got there. But, what have you. Okay, so in 2018, first round of our league, I took Le'Veon Bell. So that's not my pick.
Okay.
But obvious bust. He's 1-1. In 2018, he just
2018 didn't play a
single snap.
Right?
The next year, first round,
Mm-hmm.
my pick, Antonio Brown.
Oof.
Yeah, so the entire summer
Is AB your pick?
was
Okay.
2019 Antonio Brown. The whole summer, around this time 2
Mm-hmm.
years ago, it was oh my God, is he showing up to Hard Knocks? What the hell's going on? Now there's something with his feet in a freezer.
God. Oh, right.
And now he won't play unless he has a certain helmet.
That Antonio Brown saga is crazy.
What is going on? He immediately went projected from 20 points opening night against Denver to 1 because they didn't know if they were certain he wasn't going to play. I was like, oh my freaking God. Literally back-to-back years, I just didn't
I
have
picked him
first
up
round pick.
week 2
And he
against
ends
the
up
Dolphins and got some points there.
Yeah, he goes to the Patriots, plays 1 game.
Has a great game. 2
That's a
touchdowns,
touchdown.
right?
No.
No, just 1.
One
Yeah,
touchdown.
it's, so
60 yards and a touchdown.
Doing a little quick math here, he would have scored 13.6 points, 4
Yeah.
for 56 and a tutty. They kill the Dolphins. Yeah, so just literally back-to-back years, no return on investment with either of my first-round picks. It was brutal.
Yeah. I'm going to go with, I think I've got 2 picks I think you're going to like here. So first one is 2013 Roddy White.
Yes.
And I'll tell you why.
It's always the guys who were studs, and you're like, I finally get to have it.
Yep. He had that season 711 yards, 3 touchdowns. Previous season 1,351 yards and 7 touchdowns. Roddy White will forever be in my fantasy graveyard. And then my next pick, Shelby, Eddie Lacy, 2015.
Yeah.
758 yards
Eddie.
and 3 touchdowns.
Yep.
So, we don't fat shame on this podcast, but I'm going to fat shame that fat fuck piece of shit. All right. Your last pick.
All right. So I had a pick in mind when I just thought of like older guys you finally get to have, and they've just been shoving it up you for like years in fantasy. You finally get to have them. But I'm not going to take him. I'll save him for honorable mention. I actually have 2 there.
I have a ton of honorable mentions.
But I'll just go with this guy because he's more current. And also, you can put any single year and he works. And that's O.J. Howard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought
yeah.
last year he was going to be great, and then the Buccaneers get about 1 million tight ends.
No,
Yeah, so
then he's always like outperformed by like Cameron Brate every year.
Yeah. So drafted 19th overall in 2017. All the hype in the world. Jameis has a security blanket now to groom this quarterback. It's O.J. Howard.
And you know he's going to throw the ball.
And in 4 years with the Bucs, he never had over 35 catches.
Wow.
Never sniffed over 600 yards. And his highest, he had 6 touchdowns his rookie year. That was it. But for a first-round pick, an obvious bust. And like Scotty said, Cameron Brate was better. They brought in Gronk out of retirement because O.J. Howard wasn't getting it done. So all-time bust. Just a guy who never... and he was always like... second, third year, it was like, you're sitting there in the draft, and it's like, oh, I need a tight end. I don't really need one. I can take a backup.
We really don't need tight ends in
right,
our
but I mean
league.
other leagues and stuff. But it's like, man, like if I could get O.J. Howard in I remember my one league that's expensive. It's like 12th round. I need a tight end. I'm like, if O.J. Howard can finally put it together, this could be money.
Right.
And he just never did. And yeah, just never materialized for a guy with so much hype and so much potential, apparently.
Yeah.
Scotty, last pick.
I'm gonna go. I teeter-totter over these last 2 actually, but I'll take Michael Thomas last year.
Fuck.
I mean, Michael Thomas was like a top 3 receiver, and he just it was last year, right, where he just spent the whole year just in it. Like, is he gonna come back or is he not? Really has.
I'm cursed. There's my first 3 picks in our fantasy league the last 3 years: Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown, Michael Thomas.
Yeah.
Good Lord, they're all on our board.
Yep.
Wait, that was your first? Really? That was your first?
That was my first round pick last year.
Yeah.
Not in our league. You picked 2 running backs. You picked Chubb
yeah.
and didn't you pick Nick Chubb and Saquon Barkley?
You picked Chubb's in
I got
the second
Chubb
round.
second, and then Dalvin Cook third, or flip flop.
Oh.
Because you were part of this. You were on the snake.
I was on the back end of the snake.
You got those guys quick. Chubb and Cook.
Right.
Second and third. Which I'm surprised that Cook would have fallen that far, but
I almost
never
my
know.
first honorable mention that pick was about to be Joe Mixon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Big time.
Yeah. So honorable mentions that I have: C.J. Anderson in 2015. He only had 770 yards at 5 touchdowns.
Well, what do you mean
DeAndre
in 2015? Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
DeAndre Hopkins in 2016, only 954 yards, 4 touchdowns. Larry Fitzgerald in 2012 didn't even crack 800 yards, only 4 touchdowns. Do you remember, Shelby? Do you remember I think it was the first year he had his biggest fall off. Brandon Marshall, 2016, only 788 yards and 3 touchdowns. All the hype around. Remember all the hype around Allen Robinson? I think that would have been 16 or 17, maybe a little bit later. He only had 883 yards. C.J. Spiller, that season where he had 900 rushing yards, but he only had 2 touchdowns.
My only honorable mention I had was Maurice Jones-Drew.
Oh yeah,
Finally get him in 2012. 400 yards.
Hey, you know what? You know what? That's a good thing to look at. It's like, okay, what running backs have you really wanted, but they have never gotten hurt? Like mine, like Alvin Kamara. If I draft him, there's no way he plays the full season. I mean, there's just no way.
Dalvin Cook's getting hurt. I'm looking at Pro Football Reference, and it's like, oh, what guys have put together like a couple thousand, 1,100, 1,200 yard like stud seasons in a row? And I look at Dalvin Cook, I'm like, oh my god, he's getting hurt this year.
DeMarco Murray's first year in Philly.
Oh my god,
2015, 1,000 yards.
How come Murray don't want me, man?
Yeah, 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns. Wes Welker in 2014.
DeMarco.
The year before, 2013, he had the year 2013. Wes Welker had 10 touchdowns, and then in 2014 he had 2. And I fucking had Wes Welker in 2014.
Felix Jones.
Justin Forsett.
This is still the
in
greatest
2015.
meme I think I've ever seen.
How come Murray don't?
The first down chain.
It's a picture. Yes, Will Smith, but it's a first down chain, and it's hugging his dad and Fresh Prince.
Fresh Prince.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
his
uncle. His uncle. Sorry. How come Murray don't want me, man? That I cried myself to sleep.
Rest in peace, Uncle Phil.
Real quick, I just want to appreciate C.J. Anderson. In 2019, he signed a 1-year, $1.5 million deal with the Lions. Ran 16 times for 40 yards. 2 games, never played again.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
Get
your bread.
In 2014, Justin Forsett ran for 1,200 yards and 8 touchdowns.
Yeah, I got suckered into his ass.
In 15, 641 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I was like, got suckered into his ass so
Buck
bad.
Allen
like he led the AFC.
Come and vultured him.
Yeah, he led the AFC in rushing yards. And you're like, what?
Yep. 2011, Anquan Bolden, 887 yards, 3 touchdowns. Year before, he had a 1,000-yard season. And then this was just for me. Matt Ryan didn't have a terrible year in 2013, but it was the only year that I had him, and that was he threw a career high 17 interceptions that year. Never touched him again. And then I guess the other one would be Nick Foles in 2019, the injury. Everyone thought that he might.
Yeah, this is tough when someone gets hurt. It's like Foles mixing last year. You know? I also seem to remember Marquise Goodwin being like, you have to have him.
Yeah, he's speedster.
With the 49ers. Yeah, never over 1,000 yards, never over 5 touchdowns.
Did you say...
He actually played 4 seasons with the Bills? I do not remember that.
No, you said Jamal Charles. I'm thinking Dwayne Bowe.
I looked him up earlier because like I just personally don't remember ever having him. But
Charkandrick West.
Charkandrick West. My God.
These Chiefs legends.
Yeah, seriously. Well, every year, the Chiefs, like Spencer Ware was a hot ticket.
Spencer Ware, yeah.
I was like fighting tooth and nail to pick up Spencer Ware like 2:35 in the morning at Paupers one night in Athens. I was up against it.
I'm going through it, my man. All right. Is that our show?
I think it's our show. I think next week we'll draft fantasy football stereotypes.
Okay.
So that'll be fun.
And then the week after that, we can do fantasy draft.
Exactly.
For the pod. All right, perfect. Take it sleazy.
There's a little place where the sun sleeps late and pulls himself a shot of tequila. It's a little place called Pleasure Island. That's where I'd like to feel ya. It's easy to find just beyond the last wave, where the dolphins and whales are up mating. Sail all day and all night and then take a hard ride. That's where I'll be awaiting. Pleasure Island, island of pleasure. No need to stop and think. Pleasure Island, a beautiful treasure. Come on down and have a drink.